Welcome back to LEGO Theorists. Today we're looking at set number 71810, Young Dragon Ryu. This set has 132 pieces and just released in March for 2024. This set comes with 3 minifigures, Aaron, Sora with the new hair, dual molded piece, and a wolf mask warrior. But of course, don't forget about the main character himself in this build, which is the Young Dragon Ryu, after growing up since his last appearance in the show. Without further ado, let's take a look at Ryu.
So starting off, here is young Ryu. Note that I do call Ryu young because he's no longer a baby. So, I mean, not Ryu yet. Maybe he'll come bigger. I do have some theories for possibly how big he could become and what his power is and why he's so special. But for now, let's look at his second phase of development as young Ryu. Of course, here we have Aaron riding young Ryu, but if we really wanted to, we could put someone like Sora right on the back, so it can fit 2 minifigures. But for now, let's take both of them off and look at Ryu. So here is Ryu. Definitely a must-have set, I think, if you are a collector. It's not an expensive set at all. If you like Ninjago, I definitely recommend getting this set. There is one major flaw with him. No, it's not his size, but I will get into that a little bit later. So starting off, here's his face from the front. It's introducing this new yellow, which was not the case from him, like how he looked before, but certainly a welcome addition, I think. It gives him some more character, and now that he's bigger, he definitely needs more detail. So I think that's definitely worthy. I don't know if this is meant to show his power that he has, or what it is. Maybe there'll be some more context in the show, or maybe this is just him developing. Moving along, you can see the saddle. Simple, basic, really nice. What I really like about this head is this like car wheel kind of piece, like that protects wheels, and that's really clever and really nice for such a small set. Of course, let's not ignore his wings. These wings have been coming in Evo sets in the core line of Ninjago, but this actually works really well for Ryu. This actually represents, okay, a small dragon should have big wings. Moving along, one of my other flaws in this set is going to be this little gap, but it actually works really well. It doesn't work bad, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't work well, but I'm fine with it. I mean, he is a dragon, he shouldn't have gaps, so it shouldn't be like an acquired taste kind of thing. He shouldn't have that. But for all smaller dragons, that can obviously pass. Moving along, you can see the tail here. These golden blade pieces, which have been appearing for a very long time, you can adjust those. And it's all on ball joints too. 2 different ones. So if you wanted this tail to go flying around, you absolutely can. Now getting a bit closer, you can see it uses these teeth pieces as feet, and that works extremely well. But what is to notice is these 4 sticker pieces that appear, the only stickers in the set actually, and that's this fur that appears on all 4 of his legs. It's the same both sides. Why they didn't make this a printed part if it's only these 4 stickers that appear in the full set, and they're the same kind of sticker, I don't know. But either way, they still look pretty cool. The legs are identical per each side, so these 2 are identical, same with these 2. But now let's talk about that main flaw of this set that I was referring to earlier, and that's the fact that Ryu's head on the bottom is like hollow. It's fine because I think it will be fine because he's going to develop more. So as long as they don't reuse his head any more than once more maybe, then I think it's fine. If they do, I don't know. I don't like this hollow head because it means you can't pose it up. You can only have it like face down, and I don't think that's good for a dragon that the writers have been like using in the show to seem like almost like a dog or someone who's just playful, and that's Ryu. Ryu is playful. Ryu is still young and is a child, so there should be that extra mobility option that Ryu's head can go up and all around. But for now, but other than that, let's look at how Ryu can look in like other ways and show his mobility more. So here's probably my favorite form of Ryu being playful, kind of almost in this dabbing position. If you can notice, Ryu can absolutely balance on just his two back legs. His tail is not supporting him right now, but it can if need be. And at least the tail being on a ball joint makes this absolutely possible. We could move the other arm out here. Now it is going to balance on the leg because I'm not able to balance it. It doesn't balance well, but it still does balance. Here's Ryu in this almost intimidating pose. Of course, there not being anti-studs on the bottom does kind of weaken this, but this is a very, very cheap set, so that is not a worry. What I mean when I was talking about a hollow head is you can't even point his head upwards. That is just not a dragon. This looks almost like a bird at all or something. Maybe this from like Avatar now looking at it, but without, like, you can't even move it right there because it's still hollow. You need to like make it look down, and I don't like that. And just to kind of show one more pose, just to show how mobile he is with his like ball joints and all that, you can now see him supported on just one leg, almost like an action shot. You can see not his wing supporting him, not his head. It is possible if you know how to find the right center of mass, of course. But it just kind of shows that he is still playful, even if you can't pose his head all different directions. You can still do a bunch of different stuff with it, and I like that. That's exactly how a dragon should be. A dragon should be able to have a lot of mobility. Looking at like past vehicles, people have complained about maybe mechs not having knees or something like that, but that's not the core essential bit of a vehicle. Now, looking at a dragon, an actual living, like a quote-unquote living being, of course, it should be able to move around a lot, and being able to balance on one leg is an added touch. So I really like it. So starting off, the only ninja in this set are both Eren and Sora. Eren comes with a sword and an elemental whip, which is honestly a bit strange because he doesn't actually have an element. So maybe it's just elemental power in it, or maybe this is a whip that Sora designed, so something else is at play. But looking at the trailer, looking at the show, it seems like it actually harnesses elemental power because it's different colors. But then again, not everyone needs Spinjitzu, so it's really interesting why he has one here. And then Sora is the highlight of the set because of that hairpiece, but she only has a sword. But let's take all the weapons away, so let's actually look at the characters. So starting off with Eren, there's absolutely nothing new with him. He is the same character design that we got in Season 1, excluding the dragon, like the Rising Dragon set, where he got a different headpiece, but he's the exact same, like nothing different. Sora here has this new hairpiece, like this dual molded hair, cat ear combo that is really representative of how she looks in the show, which is a really nice touch. However, everything else with her, the armor, her suit, is the same, unfortunately. And my reasoning behind this is because if Lego had to make the 6 original ninja plus these 2 and the new villains constantly, then that is a lot of money spent on that. So if they can reuse some, like where they are able to, then they will be able to like save up that money for later releases and more characters. We saw this in Season 13, Master of the Mountain, where they reused their Season 11 legs. So that way when the island came out, they got new hair pieces. And so it's disappointing, but for now, let's just look at what they are. So Eren has, of course, his new symbol and has the dragon on the front. And the horns are really nice. Like, that's a nice inclusion. That at least makes him unique compared to the other ninja. Meanwhile, Sora, still her tech-savvy self. And like I said, that highlight is your cat ears. Let's take off the armor and the hats. Like I said, nothing new. Eren's 2 arms are cool, though, and is highlighted after you take his armor off. And Sora, of course, has that Imperium printing, but slightly different, which shows herself as that outcast, right? And the detailing you miss with her armor is really disappointing because it's such a nice torso piece. Not to mention the dual molded arm too. And I think this side angle really shows that. Now looking at the back, Eren does not have an alternate like face expression, which is really disappointing compared to Sora's angry self. Of course, these are the same characters, like I've been saying, so these back torsos shouldn't be surprising. Sora's is unique, maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way, but if you want to see her with her hairpiece on, this is how it looks from behind. And lastly, we got this Wolf Mask Warrior. Shouldn't be anything new if you've been keeping up with the January sets or this wave of sets from March. It's the same exact look as we've seen before, but in case you haven't seen it, I'll give my review here. The torso, legs, lovely. The dark blue arms and the purple hands work perfectly. Of course, this is an outfit. This is a human. If you take off the mask, comes with a sword and armor. If you want to see that headpiece, there it is. It's human. This is the generic one. And from the back, you can see that little bit of blue, which doesn't always make sense because they do power up and they appear red in the trailer for season 2. So don't know what's happening there. We are going to apparently get a new version of them in red in the summertime. But for now, this is a really great army building minifigure because it's such a great. Like, this is just generally one of the best looking villain army minifigures that have appeared in a long time. So I'm grateful to get a lot of these. Here, of course, is it from behind with the headband now. This is a human, so maybe it's like a hoodie mixed with the mask. I'm not quite so sure, but it is definitely a great minifigure to get.
So what's my overall thoughts on this set? I'd definitely say it's a must-have purchase if you're into Ninjago, or even if you aren't. It's still a great set, and it's only $16, really cheap. It comes with 3 minifigures that, well, it's mostly repetitive, and that's its main draw away from this set. However, that cool new dual molded hairpiece for Sora is a great inclusion in the set because fans have been wanting it. I know I have been wanting it. And overall, the only other concern I have is that hollow head for young Dragon Ryu. But other than that, I think it's a great set, great mobility, and definitely I would recommend you getting it. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe.